think you can get away? Written in the stars. Born of ice and
No.
Ghost.
So yeah, we're gonna need to run that back. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So, Floor 11 is interesting to say the least. I've actually been really nervous about the Spiral Abyss reset for a while now, because ever since I read the 2.1 patch notes, and coming to realize that Mihoyo was adding mechanics that were going to ignore shields, I immediately began to worry about whether players were going to struggle with this abyss. And while it only took me a few attempts to get used to Floor 11 and 9-star it, I also am lucky enough to have both Jean and QIQI, who are both some of the best healers in the entire game, so I am worried about players that do not have these characters as options. Now, that being said, I do not think that it is impossible if you do not have these characters. I think that it totally is, but you're going to have to play really smart. Until just now, Bennett and Diona have both been more than enough healing for past abysses. However, this go round with the corrosion mechanics, they might not offer enough healing. My best advice for players that might be struggling with this floor is to run a main DPS, a sub DPS, and if you have 2 healers, then I think that you should bring 2 healers. Normally I would never advise this because you wouldn't be able to output enough damage, but these enemies are actually pretty easy, and the main issue is really just the corrosion mechanic itself. Essentially, every single time that you defeat an enemy, you're going to be suffering from recoil damage from the corrosion. This is why having characters that can heal you multiple times or off the field is going to be very important. So as I mentioned, characters like Jean and QIQI are actually going to be your top contenders for healers on this floor, and even Barbara will really shine on this floor because she's able to heal you both on-field and off-field. Also, if you've somehow managed to get Barbara all the way up to C6, she can actually revive your party members if one of them falls during battle. Technically, QIQI can revive your whole team, but that's at C6, and almost no one has C6 QIQI. I know that many players don't have her since she was on Yoimiya's banner, and not too many people ended up summoning for her, but a good substitute for Jean would actually be Sayu. They both actually have very similar kits and are both a Nemo, so they can also amplify your team's damage. Xingqiu will also be good, although he doesn't offer nearly as much healing unless you build him with an all HP build. And characters like Noelle will do alright here, however if you do not have her fully invested, she does have to be on field in order to heal, so if she's not properly invested she could die very easily. If you couldn't already tell, this was actually all just a big setup for the coming of Kokomi. Kokomi is looking more and more like a meta-shifting healer that might actually change the way that Genshin is played. I'm not necessarily saying that she's a must-pull, but Mihoyo's really marketing her that way. It's no big secret that Mihoyo tends to give huge advantages to the new rate-up characters, however this one seems to be the most egregious. Floor 11 of Spiral Abyss actively works against you if you do not have a healer, where in the past if you did summon for a rate-up character it would just give you an advantage over players that may have not pulled for them. But considering that Genshin is a PvE game, this really didn't matter too much. However, with Corrosion, if you do not have healers, if you are a newer player, you are going to suffer through it. Personally, I do think that this is a little scummy because although older players or players that do have very stacked accounts won't suffer too much, I feel like a lot of new players or players that do not have healers might feel pressured into summoning for Kokomi even if they might not want her. That being said, on the flip side of that, I am actually happy that they are starting to add mechanics that do require you to heal, because prior to this, characters like QIQI have kind of become a laughingstock in the Genshin Impact community, and now she's actually finally getting a chance to shine. I think that by adding mechanics like this, and possibly future enemies that can ignore shields, this will really help push healers back into the meta and make them way more viable. I think that shielding characters will always have a place within Genshin's meta, but I do think that this is a nice way to bring healing back in. I just wish that it wasn't so abrupt, and didn't directly coincide with a new rate-up 5-star character that was a healer. That being said, all of these changes that are being made and all of these changes that are making healers way more appealing probably means that Kokomi is actually going to be a pretty decent character and is going to be viable moving forward. Now don't get me wrong, even though I did just say that, as I mentioned in a previous video, I do think that most players should wait at least 1 to 2 days so that content creators can review her and make sure that she is really worth your primos. And if you want my personal advice on her, I am going to be summoning for her day 1, and I'll try to get a video out as soon as possible with my thoughts and opinions on her. However, I really can't shake the feeling that Genshin Impact is going to just continue getting harder and harder, even if artificially. I do think that harder content is probably going to be what is going to keep Genshin Impact relevant and interesting though, so I do think that it is necessary. I think that this is just a little hand-fisted. I know that players that don't actually like healing characters aren't going to be thrilled by these changes, but I think that it is going to be really important for the longevity of this game, because otherwise these healing characters are just going to sit in people's inventories and not see the light of day. But hey, maybe I'm just overthinking things like I always do. As of recording, I haven't attempted floor 12, but I am going to try that soon. I don't think that it is going to be as hard as 11 because you don't have to worry about your health constantly being drained, but if I do see any major issues with it, I'll try to let you guys know. Although I'm definitely not playing at my best in this clip, I am going to let you guys see the rest of my clear just in case you guys are interested. Alright guys, and I think that's all that I have to say about this for now, but if you did end up enjoying the video, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below what you personally think about the corrosion mechanics and the new healing meta. Also feel free to leave me a like because it does help me with the YouTube algorithm, and if you want to see more Genshin Impact content from me, consider subscribing. Well, that is if you want to. Anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, best wishes. Bye!
No touching. Blaze over. Here we go. Go. Delve into destiny. Illusion shattered.
I will have order.
Freeze to the core. Remove all obstacles. There is no escape. Go and fly. I swear by my sword.
This is order.
Inazuma shines eternal. Huh. Go and fly.
So soon. Stabilize.
Crush. Flood of frost. Eye for an eye. Shine down. Now you shall perish. Go and fly.
Order guide you. Solidify.
Shut up. Just enough. Yahoo! Think you can get away? Wouldn't. Shadows of fate. Written in the stars. Time for takeoff. Born of ice and frost. This is long overdue. Let me scribe. Opening box of Adeptitrix. Born of ice and frost. Delves into death. Let's play. Think you can get away? For Rex Lapis.